A lot of times, different YouTubers make the exact same video, but most people can't really figure out why one gets 1500 views while another gets 2 million. So today we're gonna break down a video with the same title, made by a YouTuber with a little less than 700 subscribers, 7,000, 100,000, and finally over 700,000 subscribers. This way we're gonna be able to see what makes a video go viral while others flop. I've been on YouTube for a decade now and generated over 300 million long-form views. So let's go to the first channel with 600 subscribers. I tested America's worst restaurant chains, currently at 1,600 views.
Restaurants are under fire like never before. From filing bankruptcy to absorbing hatred, many restaurants are starting to fall into the category of becoming the worst. Specifically 5 different restaurants, which today I'll be testing.
Every intro needs to have a confirmation of the title, essential context to understand the story, and a goal. He's got that, but when the viewer sees a low quality footage like that, it gives the vibe of a low quality video. Even more when he's not projecting his voice that well, so it's harder to follow. Also, those screenshots are so fast that we can't even read the text. Fixing that is simple. Take one screenshot with good quality, remove any unnecessary things, and add a highlight effect. Another thing is that we're talking about restaurants, but where's the food from those teaser clips? We need to tease the content, not the emotions.
Because today when I was looking at my phone, I only had one question to ask. Are they really that bad? Starting with, alright, we are here next to McDonald's.
I liked that he showed this graphic. This gives a better understanding of what to expect from the video. But from a story perspective, here's the mistake. People know that McDonald's isn't the worst restaurant chain, so curiosity instantly goes down.
Recently, McDonald's most famous menu item has been connected to E. coli, which is a bacteria that lives inside of animals and humans.
That's a very bold claim. So it's important to show something on screen. A news headline, an article, any reference to back it up. But that's not something that we can test going inside, you know? Fast forward, he goes inside, buys a Happy Meal and eats it. But the segment started by talking about the Big Mac, not a Happy Meal. The biggest issue is there's no strategy, the decisions look random. And when our choices are random, the viewer can't predict our next move and can't have anticipation to what's coming next, making them lose engagement. So we need to have a clear reason to every choice we make. Everything needs to lead towards the goal. I can see that he's putting the effort, so I would encourage him to keep posting and improving each time. But let's go to our next channel with 7,000 subscribers, and now it's a video with 23,000 views. I tried the worst restaurants in America.
I am on a mission. I've tried all sorts of delicious food on this channel, but you know the one thing I haven't done? I haven't tried the worst food I can find. And today we're fixing that because I need to be humbled food-wise. I've eaten too much delicious stuff.
Here we have a confirmation of the title and also a goal, trying the worst food he can find. But the goal should have been stated more clearly. I'm gonna go to the worst restaurants, and we also have no idea on how he's gonna do that. For example, how many restaurants, where we're gonna evaluate. Also, we lack some teaser shots to give us a glimpse of the video.
And later in this video, the king of eating bad food is gonna help us out. Without further ado, let's go to our first restaurant.
So he's assuming that everyone knows who the king of eating bad food is, and he's even blurring his face. But blurring him, instead of increasing curiosity, makes us not care, because we can't even know who he is. And also it's not clear on how he's gonna help us.
Without further ado, let's go to our first restaurant, allegedly the worst fast food chain in America. White Castle.
Okay, I like that we started with a less known chain.
So we are at a White Castle. I've only ever been to a White Castle one single time in my life, and it was for I Am Cherry's breakfast food video. And to my recollection, the food was mid. It was atrociously average.
In a story, every information needs to be essential to reach our goal. But saying what he thinks of White Castle before going in and giving a backstory doesn't move the story forward. Also, visually, we don't see the restaurant on frame, so we really lack this visual.
Here's what the article said. I had White Castle while I was on vacation. All right, weird vacation food choice, but I digress. And it has never stuck out to me. The sliders and burgers are dry, hard, and flavorless. It took so long to get our food, and it was mid. Yes, the article said it was mid.
Now we have a reason to why it's the worst. Actually reading a review, but could have made this part much faster by avoiding repetition and cutting the backstory.
No, thank you. Thank you. You have a blessed one.
So when the viewer clicked on the thumbnail, what was expected was for him to go inside. The problem is that just showing the inside of the car makes it very monotonous, and a lack of variety actually hurts the retention a lot. Also, the first segment needs to be the best as possible, because the viewers will judge the whole video from that, and if it's not satisfying, they'll quit.
My bag is covered in grease, so I'm hoping that means my food is hot and greasy. If that makes sense, like good greasy, not bad greasy.
So he goes on to eating the food and rating it, but in the next segment, he again goes to a drive-thru. It looks too similar. And then we also have throughout the video the participation of this guy.
Any advice you could give someone who's going to be eating bad food for the first time?
Always go with the best menu items, all right? Always go with the best ones. You gotta always ask.
But there's no reason to why he's helping us. It makes the story not move forward. So the biggest problem is there's a lack of a clear stated goal, we lack a strategy, and also a reason to stay until the end. And this guy that showed up in this video is actually our next one, with 100,000 subscribers, and his video has over 150,000 views. I tried the worst restaurant chains in America.
A lot of our favorite restaurants that we grew up on are now closing their doors.
Right off the bat, it starts with an interesting statement and a much better audio quality. But these images go too fast and we can't really read this information here.
TGI Fridays prepares to file for bankruptcy.
A group of investors are going to be acquiring the restaurant chain.
Saturday will be the last day for families to enjoy the Chuck E. Cheese.
Or some of them even being labeled
the worst restaurant chain in America.
Before we can read the sentence, it switches to another image. We always need to take into consideration the time that people take to read.
These were spots we celebrated birthdays, late night hangouts, family dinners. But how do some of these beloved restaurants get to the point of bankruptcy? They're losing their popularity. And according to this list I found online, there's a lot. But before they go, I intend to visit some of my childhood favorites and find out for myself why are they considered the worst restaurant chains in America.
This intro is better than the other one because it gives a why and a goal, but it's still a little too long, 36 seconds. A lot of sentences could have been cut. And the viewer also have no idea on how many restaurants the creator is going to or how he's deciding if they are bad. That's the same problem of lack of clarity the other videos have.
Alright guys, it's I Am Cherry reporting live from Arby's. Well, it's actually raining. Hold on, let me get in the car. Oh my goodness, why is it raining so hard?
I can confidently say this is the quote-unquote worst restaurant in America. Everyone hates Arby's, except for this guy.
I like that we have this map. Now it's clear how many segments we're gonna have.
Arby's, known for their heavily advertised mystery meats and their terrible reputation.
It's the show don't tell rule. Instead of saying they have a bad reputation, add a headline saying how bad it is, a review or something like that. Also, it doesn't look aesthetically pleasing.
And for the final challenge, all you have to do is eat this Arby's sandwich.
Me personally, I think Arby's is amazing.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
This sentence can hurt the video. The title is I tried, but before going to the first restaurant, we're already seeing his opinion. It breaks the uncertainty of what's gonna happen. If he wanted to keep this, it shouldn't be the first segment.
Now I know, I Am Cherry, what the hell? You eat at Arby's? What you doing? Hey. Since I already know how good Arby's is, I'm bringing a special guest with me. And let me just say, he's one of those Arby's haters. So today I'm gonna prove him wrong, bro.
I liked his solution of bringing a friend, but for the first segment, it should have been him testing it to really confirm what the viewer clicked for. So here we have a detail most people miss. He's outside and then he suddenly goes inside. We didn't have a natural progression of entering the store. Also, this text here, we couldn't read it.
My boy Gary, man. My boy Gary, man. Hey, bro. I'm excited for this, bro. You excited, bro?
Yes, I'm hyped, but I'm a little scared, I can't lie.
But hey, man, you know where we at, bro. We are at Arby's, all right? I wanted to keep it a surprise for Gary, you feel me? Oh, I keep calling you Gary.
The elephant in the room, bro. He did me so dirty in the last vid. What is my name?
Your name is Devin, bro. Come on.
I have to pause here. And again, let's think as a new viewer. Why did we build so much suspense to show him? And we're also hearing a lot of things that don't move the story forward.
Calling you Gary.
The elephant in the room, bro. He did me so dirty in the last vid.
Referencing older videos, for example, alienate new viewers. But what stands out the most is how long it takes to actually get into the content. It's almost 2 minutes into the video and the viewer still hasn't received anything valuable yet.
You know, I just want you to sit here. I'll go over there. I'll order for you.
Okay.
Just like the last video, entertain them, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Say whatever you want.
I'm excited, but I'm scared.
You gonna eat good, bro. Trust.
I don't trust.
Here the creator just left the video. He needed to take the viewers with him as he orders to really make us feel part of the story.
Now just a little bit of context while I'm ordering my boy's food.
He stopped the video again to give more context, interrupting the progression yet another time. But every information that we give should be essential to reach the goal. If the story isn't progressing, retention goes down instantly.
I was talking about this in the car, bro. Everyone, they just make assumptions that Arby's is terrible.
I'm one of them.
I'm gonna let you know right now, this is gonna be some of the best food you've ever tried in your life.
Now we're just repeating too much until we finally see him trying the food. But overall, we have too much unnecessary context, the video doesn't progress enough, it keeps being interrupted, and we also don't have a clear strategy on how he's reaching the goal. But now let's compare all that to a video with that same title that has 2 million views. I tried America's worst restaurant chains.
We have a problem. A lot of the restaurant chains that I grew up going to as a child are filing for bankruptcy. It's because a lot of them are now being called the worst restaurants in America, which has left me with a question. Are they really that bad? I need answers. And the only way to get those answers is to go try some bad restaurant chains.
Notice how this flows much more naturally. He doesn't just go to the restaurant, he explains why he's going. He starts with a problem.
We have a problem.
Then he says why it matters to him personally.
A lot of the restaurant chains that I grew up going to as a child are filing for bankruptcy.
He's attaching a personal reason. That makes the viewer more engaged and more connected to the story. But notice how clearly he sets the expectations for the video.
Rule number 1. Over the next several days, I have to eat at 6 of the worst restaurants in America. Rule number 2. I have to order the best and worst item at each restaurant to be sure I'm getting the whole picture.
That's structure clarity. We know exactly how many restaurants and what he's ordering. That paints a picture of the entire video, so the viewer not only knows, but also get curious to see what happens next. And look how he shows a lot of videos of the foods that we'll see, which none of the other creators did.
Let's get to our first restaurant. Chuck E. Cheese, ladies and gentlemen.
So check out how he goes from the outside to the inside.
I'm going to be rating each restaurant based on these categories. Whichever one's the best, well, I'll tell you about that in a second. I'm glad this mouse wasn't here. Hello. How's it going? Hello. Do you have like a favorite thing on the menu?
He doesn't just pop inside. He enters and shows us the process of ordering the item, following the clear rules he set earlier.
I'm actually very impressed by how clean this place is. Looks really good. I thought it was going to look way worse. Just because I haven't been here in so long, I didn't know what to expect.
He's sitting in front of the camera, connecting to the viewer and showing the environment. That way we have much more variety and it paints a picture of what it feels like to be there. He also shows a lot of different unique things, adds a quick character, which is the mouse of Chuck E. Cheese, but check out how he tries the food.
Let's taste test the food before I think too much into what just happened. All right, so I don't necessarily know which one is the gluten-free and which one is the regular, so we're gonna do a quick taste test. Okay, yeah, this is definitely gluten-free, I can tell by, look at this. It's like a piece of cardboard.
He's giving much more details on the experience, delivering on what the viewer clicked for, with a camera angle that makes us feel part of it, and a lot of sound effects that bring life to the scene. But then look at what he adds in the transition from one segment to the other.
The restaurant with the highest score at the end of this, I'm bringing my wife Holland to for a date night, so we better find the best one.
Now we have another reason to stay until the end, giving more depth to the story. So here, the viewer feels much more part of the journey. There's a clear structure, a clear strategy, and a good progression. There's also a strong why connected to the goal, and that's why this video got 2 million views. If you want me to analyze your video or your channel, I'll leave a link in the description. Thanks for watching and bye.